Hello, Nandan. It's so nice to have you speak with me. You can give me a few exam tips. You scored 97 in the 12th board exam 23-24, and congratulations. So, I would like a few tips and tricks that you have used which could help and inspire a lot of students.
I'm being very honest. In my first UT exam, I scored 13 out of 20, and then I've reached here 97 out of 100, which is remarkable, at least for me, because chemistry was my most hated subject, and eventually this is where I scored the highest marks. But if I were to say particular tips regarding to the academic part, I would definitely encourage practice, especially organic. So you have to remember all the reactions, all the formulas. The starting it gets a bit dicey, but eventually when you really remember the reactions, it's very fun. I really loved that part after it clicked to me that this is how it's supposed to be. After that, coming to inorganic, you just don't have a choice. You have to memorize it. But understanding part two, obviously, understand the concept before a lot. Whenever you're studying this, and then the memorization part, do it right before the exam so that it doesn't slip out. And since there's going to be quite a few exams, the more you keep doing it, eventually you'll remember most of it. It's a common pattern. Most of it just comes, it comes. So that's there. And for the physical part, it's not that much. It's quite easy, I would say. Just remember the formulas, make a formula sheet, keep going through it every day, and you should be good. And of course, NCRT is your Bible. You have to go through it every day and mark the important points before every exam.
Okay, so did the exam stress creep in? And if it did, how did you do the stress management?
So exam stress naturally, everybody says 12th, your life depends on this, etc., etc. So it does creep in eventually. But after that, uh, my number one way to cope up with it was never to give myself.
So, like, actually, when do you get serious? I mean, for students like you, of course, you're always serious, but when does that seriousness actually,
Hit
creep
in.
for most of your friends and all? If you are, if you have a, example which you can cite.
See, I would say the actual seriousness should kick in when you hear the word pre-boards going around your school. That's when it should kick in.
So that means that should be an eye opener kind of.
That's the minimum. Usually people get their eye openers by midterms. झटका लगता है अच्छा सा सबको.
Yes. Like there are I mean most of the students they open their eyes maybe near around the
Yeah,
period.
I mean, it's necessary if I'm being honest. Me personally, I scored 49 out of 70 in midterms. Remember, right in this room, I was panicking one night before the exam. My dad came to me. He told me, Nandan, listen, it's okay. Calm down. Even if you fail tomorrow, it's okay. Those were the exact words of my dad, and eventually I somehow got to 97. I'm all credits to you.
I know. I mean, probably that fear factor creeped in. That's all. Nothing else.
If fear factor though, as soon as you step in 12th, it's going to creep in.
Yeah.
How you channelize it, how you use it is up to you, and that what makes the difference between lip and sip.
Yes. Yes. So that's where the 95 pluses and the below
Hmm.
95s come into the picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Like depending on your fear factors.
I mean,
Yeah, you have a goal. I mean, you are going
yeah,
abroad for
and
studies. So
yes, I'm going
naturally,
abroad to Pennsylvania State University.
yeah. So naturally, you had to keep up your projected score. So you knew that you
Hmm.
had to crack it. So
Yeah, I always believe that it's all about, whatever the task is, it may be very tough, it may look impossible, but if your reason why is bigger than the challenge, then you're always going to go through it. It's as simple as that.
golden words. I
Thank
hope
you.
some students definitely listen to you whatever you are saying, and it just strikes them. It clicks. Yeah, this fellow is talking some good sense. So like one
Thank you.
more very interesting question I have, and I feel at this age where you're growing up, your things are opening up. I mean, you're getting distracted. So how do you manage that distraction of yours, which is there in and around you? So if you plunge into the distraction,
Hmm.
you know how do you come out, how do you come out of the distraction? Social media, this, that. How do you handle
I
that?
mean, there's three types. One is who just they don't ever get distracted. They're far, far away, isolated from all this world. So for them, it's not as big of a problem. One is there's a second type, which is who are completely into the distraction part, for whom I would say you have to think about it. I can't really help you out here. What do you want? Do you really want to just pass with 40 marks, 50 marks, or do you want to make your parents proud? What are your college goals? As I said earlier, it's your reason why. Why do you want to do it? As long as you don't have a very strong reason as to why I want to do it, from inside you would never feel that fire that I need to do this. And there's a third category which I would say I was involved in was somewhere in the middle. Like you're not just completely dedicating your life to academics, you're trying to live your life socially as well. But eventually, you're trying to maintain a straight path, but then the distractions they keep coming. So you have to avoid them by basically you have to learn to say no. Know what is wrong, know what is right, but also learn to say no. But don't just completely be into that. I wouldn't recommend just going for academics because then you're missing out on your life.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yes,
It will
exactly.
definitely affect you because it'll like if you completely go that way, it'll affect your academics as well.
Right.
So a slight mix, but I would say if in 11th it was 70-30, 70% academics, 30% fun, 12th it has to be 85-15 or at least 90-10.
Oh,
Only
well
then you can
said.
make it there.
Well
Yeah.
said. Well said. Nice, nice. So, few tricks which you would like to share for reaching that high goal of yours. You've got a good percentage. Oh, aggregate percentage is also very good, 95% if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, how do you go about planning your subjects like PCM and CS or whatever it is?
Mhm.
So how do you
So
go
I would,
planning it in a day wise or in a week wise or a month wise? Just a small helping hand from your side.
uh, before the exams, so I have two plans basically. One is right before the exams, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and one is overall, which is general throughout the year. I'll start with the general one. The general one is mostly make sure that you're consistent, not only in your physics, not only in your chemistry, but in all the subjects throughout. Because I'll tell you the subjects. So I was a CS student. So for me, the subjects which people usually ignored was obviously English and computer science. They would keep it for the last day. Eventually, they would score really, really low marks. But what you need to understand is these are the marks you need to incentivize on. And obviously, homeworks and all are assigned. Try to complete them. I myself sometimes couldn't complete them on time, but you have to do it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Good. So that means you advise a weekly, um if you have a weekly schedule like physics,
Mhm.
chemistry, maths, or biology, and other subjects should be handled in 1 week altogether, or you could switch weeks. Like say physics and
As in one
chemistry.
whole week for one.
Yeah,
No,
like
no, no, don't do
you,
that.
you cater to two subjects in a week, say physics, chemistry, and then go to the next week where you do maths and CS or something, or in a week you should
No,
handle
no, no,
both the
no, no.
subjects.
In the 7 days of the week, I have 2 hours for English. CS I used to study on Sundays for 2-3 hours. It doesn't even require 2-3 hours. I used to get over by 1 or 2 hours max. But the remaining days, try to, not depending on your schedule. My schedule was different. Yours going to be very different. So, uh, you have to give almost equal times to PCM. Just that in physics and particularly maths, you would require slightly more time because instead of just reading through it or memorizing it, you have to write it. And writing naturally takes more time. Slightly say before the exams, how do you study? Just before the exams, I would plan out my days. I have X days. I have X total chapters. Total chapters includes all chapters of physics, all chapters of chemistry. I don't break it down. I have these many days. Okay, now I need to do these. So I would do maths. So say I have to do 3 chapters per day to complete my entire syllabus. Now 3 chapters a day. I will make sure that those three aren't the same or aren't of the same subject, unless absolutely required to. That is during the study breaks, but that's different. I'll come to that. So 3 chapters a day. So today I'll do. Make sure that you treat each chapter indifferently because every chapter you have to treat it the same because you never know what comes out of where. It's all NCERT, especially for chemistry. So treat every chapter equally, and then you have to make a general plan for each chapter. Like I said, CBSE notes, revision, questions. Then write it down there, and then see. So you have 12 chapters, say 10 chapters. You have 5 days. First day you spend resting and just gathering up all that courage to do it again. Then so you have 4 days left. I would always keep the last day for revision. So 3 days, so approximately 3 to 4 chapters every day. One small chapter, chemical kinetics, you can do on the last day. So you can do 4 chapters that day, 3 chapters on the other 2 days. And if possible, on the first day, which you were resting, before sleeping by midnight, try to do one chapter. Eventually, it'll help you. अभी पढ़ लो या तो बाद में रो लो. That's all you can do.
Wow,
So
wow. Oh, wow, that was super. अभी पढ़ लो या तो बाद में रो लो.
you don't have a choice.
That was a fantastic line that you said. I really loved it. So सुन लो भाई.
Thank you.
अभी पढ़ लो या तो बाद में रो लो. Thank you so much, Nandan.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
feel
ma'am.
like carrying on this discussion, but we will have to end it. Okay,
Yeah, I
thank
understand.
you so much for inspiring
My pleasure.
so
My pleasure.
many students. And
My pleasure.
do take care and best of luck for the future.
Thank you so much. All the best to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah.